The word masterpiece is defined as a work of outstanding artistry, skill, or workmanship. Many things are considered a masterpiece. The Mona Lisa, the Godfather trilogy, Beethoven's symphony, the idea of taking a McDouble and a McChicken and putting them together to make one heart attack-inducing sandwich, etc., etc. The medium of anime isn't short of having masterpieces of its own. Of course, the idea of anime is quite subjective considering everyone has their own taste, however, there are quite a few shows beloved seemingly by everyone in the anime community. Cowboy Bebop, One Piece, Your Name, Spirited Away, and even most recently Attack on Titan, even though the ending fucking blew dick. Once again, you can argue none of what I mentioned is actually a masterpiece, but these are some of the highest rated anime of all time. But that raises the question, what is the highest rated anime of all time? Thankfully, there's a little known website called My Anime List where we can actually answer that question. Again, this isn't a definitive metric that every anime fan needs to go by to determine whether an anime is good or not, but it is a community-based site where users can rate any anime they've watched on a scale from 1 to 10, and the website averages out those ratings to then rank all the anime in its database. So to answer the question of what is the highest rated anime of all time, at least according to My Anime List, the answer for the longest time would be the shonen classic Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the greatest anime of all time, period. Some of the most endearing characters you can possibly find, and a narrative with so many twists, turns, and emotional moments that it's hard not to recommend to anyone starting out anime or looking for a new series to watch in general. However, in late 2023 all the way into mid 2024, a shift unlike any other occurred, and the crown of highest rated anime was taken off of the head of Fullmetal Alchemist and bestowed upon the new king, or rather queen, of anime. Allow me to introduce you to Frieren. Taking place in a classical medieval setting, Frieren follows our main heroine, an elf mage named Frieren, as she journeys to reach a place known simply as Heaven. Heaven in this world is said to be a resting place for souls after death, akin to how we refer to heaven in Christianity. Her goal is to reach this place so she can reunite with her old friend, the legendary hero Himmel, who along with Frieren and 2 other party members defeated the Demon King and restored peace to the world. And that is your spoiler-free plot summary. If you wish not to be spoiled on Frieren, I highly recommend going to watch the show yourself before continuing this video, and then coming back to it once you've done so. I will be spoiling some parts of the series throughout this video, so you've been warned. By that plot summary alone, you'd think Frieren was just your everyday run-of-the-mill isekai or fantasy anime, which if you know me, would mean that I wouldn't like this show in the slightest. And you're right, I don't like this show. I love it. The series' main focus isn't that it takes place in a magical land, its main focus is on its characters, on emotions, on humanity. Frieren and her party of brave heroes went on a 10-year journey to defeat the Demon King. Frieren being an elf means her life is much longer than those around her. She can live for thousands of years. Years to her feel like days. She thinks almost nothing of the passage of time, but to her party members, they truly cherish the time they've all spent together. Himmel is constantly trying to win over Frieren's heart with his heroic charm and dazzling good looks. Hyder is this kinda corrupt priest who has a great heart, but he's always fucking drunk and is nowhere near the strongest in the group. Aizen is this quiet yet insanely strong dwarf who also has a huge lifespan, but also seems to enjoy time much better than Frieren seems to. They make memories by saving different towns, helping out the townsfolk, going to taverns and inns together, conversing, shopping, eating, and battling together. 10 years of companionship. And to Frieren, it means little to nothing. Or so we think. Once the Demon King is defeated, Frieren and the party split. And for literal decades, they never see Frieren again. She goes on her isolated journey to find more magic for years and years, which to her feels like just minutes in an hour. It isn't until she visits Himmel in his decrepit old age and attends his inevitable funeral that something in Frieren changes. Frieren realizes that the mere 10 years she spent with the party actually meant something to her, and with the passing of Himmel, has to face the reality that she didn't value the time she spent with the party as much as she should have. That realization, that fear of not cherishing and appreciating the time you share with others in the moment, only to find it too late to express, is a fear every human has. I spend so much of my time at night lying in bed, or in the shower, or on a lonely walk reminiscing about the past. I think back to my high school days and get so nostalgic. I look back at people I no longer have contact with and wonder if they remember me as fondly as I do them, or if they realize how much I truly cherished the moments we spent together. I hope even now that my friends and family know how much each minute with them means to me. Friren's tears were also tears of my own. With this realization, Frieren embarks on her own journey to reach heaven and reunite with Himmel so she can truly express how she felt about the journey and the time they spent together. Now, while Frieren's journey to heaven is technically the main driving point for her, it's not necessarily the main focus of the series. While on her journey, she acquires another wonderful cast of party members, some of which are permanent, at least as far as the first season is concerned, and some of which are only in the party for a few episodes, or even less. She takes on the role of master to a young girl named Fern. Fern is this orphaned refugee that the old drunk priest Hyder took under his wing after the 10-year journey with Frieren, and while on his deathbed convinces Frieren to take Fern along on her journey and teach her to become a powerful mage. Along the way, they also pick up a young warrior named Stark, who turns out to be the apprentice to the dwarf warrior Eisen. Stark is a cowardly warrior, gaining praise for saving a town from a monster by coming face to face with it in an unwavering stare down when in reality he was frozen in fear and more than likely shitting himself. However, unlike most cowardly hero archetypes, for example Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, Stark isn't really a crybaby bitch. He acts on his fear, and whether or not he thinks he can win, he always overcomes that fear and moves forward. He doesn't cry or whine about how he can't win, he still somehow finds a way to get it done. He's also my favorite character in the show. I mean, look at this fucking guy. Considering the rest of the party is made up of socially inept mages, Stark comes across as the most normal in the group. The dynamic between the three main party members makes for some of the most touching, funny, and even downright badass scenes you can get in a fantasy anime. The beauty of this new party is how much it parallels the hero's party from Frieren's past journey. As she once traveled with Hyder, Himmel, and Eisen, she now travels with Stark and Fern, both of which being apprentices of Hyder and Eisen. It's like this group is the spiritual successor of the hero's party from the past. The only one missing is Himmel. However, even with the absence of an apprentice for Himmel, his presence is still felt strongly throughout this new party's journey. Frieren herself seems to carry the legacy of Himmel, and the way this series handles that is absolutely genius. Anytime the party comes across something that reminds Frieren of something the hero's party did, she takes time to reminisce, and we get to view those moments she shared through her memories. Again, the parallels in the two parties' adventure are uncanny, but the difference now is that Frieren herself has taken the time to truly cherish the time she has and the memories she made in the past with her old friends. When asked why the group is stopping in town to help people run basic errands or fight off random monsters, she just answers, "That's what Himmel would do." It's in those moments where I was truly moved. To see what was once a colder, more standoffish mage grow into someone who truly cares about the friends she's made and the memories made with them touched my heart. The character moments and the growth of each character are what truly sold me on this show. I felt as though I was in for the best fantasy slice of life you can ask for. And then we get to the action. Holy shit! Going into Frieren, I expected a slower-paced, day-to-day story of adventurers getting to know each other and embark on a fun, wholesome quest. And that's exactly what I got, but that's not all I got. I was blown away by the action scenes. Frieren versus Aura, Stark and Fern versus the demons, the fucking magic Chunin exams, which I would argue were more fun to watch than the actual Chunin exams, well, at least in Boruto. This old-ass man Denkin and his party run out of magic after being wiped by Frieren and these two fucking lesbian mages, and instead of giving up on his quest to become a first-class mage and just quitting the exams in general, he decides he's gonna pass by throwing fucking hands. Like, dog, what a badass. Yubel is like a yandere of some sort, and she's got this bloodthirsty lust to kill in her eyes. She's honestly fucking terrifying, but you know, she is pretty cute. We do like crazy women on this channel. We love crazy bitches. Land is one of the coolest characters in this series. His main gimmick is that he basically performs the most cracked version of Shadow Clone Jutsu and beats ass and passes the entire exam by sending multiple clones of himself to participate, all while sitting at home and drinking tea. When that was revealed, my jaw dropped. You mean to tell me this guy wasn't even physically near the exam? That's next level big brain shit right there. I could gush on and on about how cool the action in this series is, and that is all thanks to Studio Madhouse pulling out all the stops. The animation here is fucking stellar. Every action scene has weight to it. They're tense, dramatic, and paced so well, even when the fights are more than a couple of minutes, they don't overstay their welcome. Frieren can go from being a slice of life fantasy show to one of the coolest shonen anime I've ever seen, and I like that versatility. You can be enjoying some quirky, lighthearted character moments, and then in the same episode, watch Frieren make a literal evil overlord kill herself. It's literally batshit insane. All this stunning animation and wonderful storytelling is backed by a fantastic soundtrack. Composer Evan Call, known for his work on Violet Evergarden, cooks up a beautiful OST that constantly reminded me of the old Lord of the Rings movies and Final Fantasy IX, some of my favorite fantasy titles of all time. Every track fits every moment perfectly, and not once did I ever feel like the music was taking me out of a scene. The way all of these elements come together create an anime experience I wish I could rewatch for the first time. It's got something for everyone here, a wonderful narrative and lovable cast of characters, action that would make most shonen anime jealous, gorgeous visuals, superb music, and such minimal fan service that you can honestly recommend this series to anyone regardless if they like anime or not. When finishing up the show and coming up with the idea of this video, I sat and thought to myself what I would rate Frieren. I looked back at the series with a critical lens and really tried to find anything I deemed negative about the show, and I couldn't. I usually have nitpicks and gripes with almost any series I watch, but for some reason Frieren didn't have those issues for me. Everything works. There isn't anything I dislike about the series. It looks good, it sounds good, and most importantly, it made me feel. That's always the most important aspect of watching anime for me. I watch anime so I can feel things, whether it's sad, happy, excited, nervous, hype. I can confidently say Frieren made me feel all of those emotions, and then some. I originally scoffed at the idea of Frieren being the highest rated anime of all time on my anime list. I truly expected it to be review bombed back down the list as many other shows that topple Fullmetal Alchemist usually do. But over a year after its release, it still stands tall in that #1 spot, and the anime community, including myself, continue to sing its praises across the internet. Frieren truly deserves that spot, and with the announcement of Season 2, me and so many others alike are more than excited to continue this journey with Stark, with Fern, and with Frieren. Frieren is easily the best anime of last year, and the best anime of this year. Unless Don got something to fucking say about it. That show was fucking incredible. Jesus Christ, watch the last video. With nothing but positive things to say, I can confidently state that Frieren is nothing short of a modern masterpiece. I'm your friendly neighborhood rom-com senpai, and I'll see you in the next one.